Good morning, dear students. Dear students, today we shall move on to the revision class of 7th standard. In the science, the chapter is soil. So, in this chapter, we are going to discuss the exercise question and answers. That is, what are the questions that are given in your textbook. We are going to discuss answer for those questions. We shall move on to one by one. If you want to write or want to copy that answer to your notes, you should pause the video and you should complete the notes with neatly. Okay, shall we start? Yes. So, dear students, so in this one, first they given that, see here, question number 1. So, in the chapter soil, so in addition to the rock particles, the soil contains. Along with the rock particles, the soil contains which one means? So, soils are generally contains mineral, organic matter, air and water. So, in this one we have to see that air and water is not the answer, water and plants is not the answer, water, air and plants is not the answer. Answer is minerals, organic matter, air and water. These are the components which are present in addition to that of rock particle. These are the components which are present in soil in addition to that of rock particle. That is option 3rd is minerals, organic matter, air and water. So, next question is the water holding capacity is the highest in. See, dear students, sandy soil means the water will be easily absorbed and that reaches to the groundwater level. And also in loamy soil, that's also there is no capability of holding the water long time or long period of time. So, mixture of sandy and loam, these are not, both are same. So, this also not having a capable of holding water for a long time. So, only one and only will be there, that is clay soil. Clay soil means ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಜೇಡಿ ಮಣ್ಣು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಕೆಸರು ಮಣ್ಣು ಅಥವಾ ಜೇಡಿ ಮಣ್ಣು. So, that holds highest capacity of water that fall on that. ಆ ಮಣ್ಣಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅತಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಪ್ರಮಾಣದ ನೀರನ್ನು ಲಾಟ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಮ್ ವರೆಗೂ ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಇದೆ. And next one, question number 3. Match the items in column 1 with those in column 2. So, in the column 1, a home for living organisms. So, upper layer of the soil, sandy soil, middle layer of the soil and last one is clay soil. So, these are the column 1 and we move on to the column 2. So, in the column 2, so they given large particles, all kinds of soil, dark in color, small particles and packed tight and lesser amount of humus. So, we have to match the column 1 to the column 2. So, first one is a home for living organism is all kinds of soil. In that one, so many bacteria will be there and so earthworms will be there, rhizobiums will be there. So, for the first one answer is all kinds of soil. So, upper layer of the soil is dark in color, in generally dark in color. Sandy soil are large particles. Sandy soils are large in particles. Next, middle layer of the soil. So, middle layer of the soil is lesser amount of humus. So, middle layer of the soil that contains lesser amount of humus. What do you mean by humus? Andre dead and decay material which are present in the soil. Clay soil, it is small particles and packed tight. ತುಂಬ ಹತ್ತತ್ರವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, those are all small particles. Next they given explain how soil is formed. That means ಮರಳು ಹೇಗೆ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ by the activity of wind and weather. Soil is formed by weathering of rocks. Weather is the breakdown of rocks by the action of So weather is the breakdown of rocks by the action of air, wind and water. So soil formation is a slow process. Soil formation is a slow process. It occurs all the time. It occurs all the time. So soil formation is a two-step process. Weathering of rock takes place. Rock is broken down into small particles. Weathering of rock takes place. Rocks is broken down into small particles. These small particles mix with humus and form soil. These rocks are mixed with humus and forms soil. Next one is, how is clay soil useful for crops? ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಜೇಡಿ ಮಣ್ಣು ಹೇಗೆ ಬೆಳೆಗಳನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಯಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬ ಸಹಾಯಕವಾಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಕ್ಲೇ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಚ್ ಇನ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ಫರ್ಟೈಲ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸೂಟೇಬಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಗ್ರೋಯಿಂಗ್ cereals like wheat and gram. Such soil is good at retaining water. That means these clay soil having capable or capacity of retaining water. That's why these are all suitable for the growing of crops. For which? For paddy, soil rich in clay and organic matter and having a good capacity to retain water are ideal in clay soil. For lentils and other pulses, loamy soils which drain water easily are required. So loamy soil alli enante water is very availability of water will be less. That means the water which are absorbed by the loamy soil, that is dried or drain water easily. So for that reason this clay soil is useful for the crops which like paddy and so many grams and cereals. Those require amount of water, not as suddenly, that require little bit amount by step. For that this clay soil is useful for those type of growing crops. And next one, dear students, this is important for 2 marks question. It is very important for 2 marks. That is, list the difference between clay soil and sandy soil. List the difference between clay soil and sandy soil. Clay soil gu matte sandy soil gu difference ನಾವು list ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. We have to list out the difference between clay soil and sandy soil. What are the difference? So clay soil, a sandy soil. Clay soil is ratio of fine particles is higher. Here ratio of large particles is higher. So ratio of fine particles is higher in clay soil. Ratio of large particle is higher in sandy soil. So soil retains water and become sticky and wet. So in the clay soil, will be water will be retained. ಅಂದರೆ ಹಿಡಿದು ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಕಿಯಾಗಿ ಬಿಹೇವ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಡಿ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಲೂಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಏರ್ ಪರ್ಮಿಟ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದ ಸಾಯಿಲ್. ಲೂಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏರ್ ಪರ್ಮಿಟ್ಸ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದ ಸಾಯಿಲ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಮಣ್ಣಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಗಾಳಿಯು ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೂಟೇಬಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಪ್ಯಾಡಿ, ವೀಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಗ್ರಾಮ್. ಈ ಕಾಳುಗಳಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ಯಾಡಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವೀಟ್, ಫಾರ್ ದೀಸ್ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ಲೇ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಸೂಟೇಬಲ್. And also for the growing of cotton, jute, also this clay soil is very suitable. But sandy soil is suitable for vegetables, peanuts and cotton cultivation. Reason, they require more amount of oxygen. Plants require more amount of oxygen. Here loose particles will be there, so air is easily permeates through the soil. But in clay soil difficult to plow when wet. ಹೊಲವನ್ನು ಉಳುಮೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇದು ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಹಸಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ. ಡ್ರೈಸ್ ಅಪ್ ಈಸಿಲಿ, ಕಾಂಟ್ ರಿಟೈನ್ ವಾಟರ್, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಸಿ ಟು ಫ್ಲೋ. ಸೊ ಈ ಸ್ಯಾಂಡಿ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ನ ಉಳುಮೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, ಹೊಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಲೋನ ಹೊಡಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಈಸಿ. ರೀಸನ್ ಏನು? ದಟ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ ರಿಟೈನ್ ವಾಟರ್, ನೀರನ್ನು ತನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಡಿದು ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, sketch the cross section of soil and label the various layer. So you should sketch this diagram, and this sketch is already they given in your textbook, and then you should write bedrock. This bedrock contains completely rocks, and C horizon contains mixture of rocks and sandy soil. B horizon contains few amounts of rocks, but A horizon is completely we call that one as topsoil, smooth and retaining of water will be there. So after writing this one, we have to label the various cross section. But if you want this explanation, you should write this one. Otherwise, there is no necessity of writing this one. See here. A vertical section through different layers of the soil is called the soil profile. First, if they ask to define soil profile, you should write a vertical section through different layers of the soil is called the soil profile. Each layer differs in feel, color, depth and chemical composition. Each layers also have a different or differs in feel. ಅಂದರೆ ಅದು ಫೀಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದರೆ by like color, texture means size of that soil, and next color of the soil, and depth and chemical composition. On the basis of that, these layers are referred to as horizons. ಪದರಗಳಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. In that one, the uppermost horizon is generally dark in color. This is dark in color as it is rich in humus and minerals. It is rich in humus and minerals. See, the uppermost horizon is generally dark in color as it is rich in humus and minerals. How the humus makes me? The humus makes the soil fertile and provides nutrients to growing plants. ಬೆಳೆಯುವ ಗಿಡಗಳಿಗೆ ಅದು ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಯೆಂಟ್ಸ್ನ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. And this layer is generally soft. ಈ ಲೇಯರು generally soft ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, porous and can retain more water. It is called the topsoil or the A horizon. So the uppermost horizon is generally dark in color as it is rich in humus and minerals. The humus make the soil fertile. See, humus makes soil fertile and provides nutrients to growing plants. And then this layer is generally soft. This layer is generally soft, porous and can retain more water. It is called the topsoil. It is called topsoil or the A horizon. or ಅಥವಾ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವೇನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, A horizon ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. The next layer has a lesser amount of humus. This next layer is lesser amount of humus but more of minerals. This second layer having more of minerals. So this layer is generally harder and more compact. It's very harder and more compact, and this layer is called the B horizon or the middle layer. We call that one as B horizon or the middle layer. This layer is called as B horizon or the middle layer. And third one, the third layer is the C horizon. This is the third layer, and this third layer is called as C horizon. And this C horizon, which is made up of small lump of rocks with crack and crevice, with small lump of rocks. And last one is, it's very important, this is called as bedrock. So see here, dear students, bedrock, below the layer of the bedrock, which is hard and difficult to dig with spade. ನಾವು ಸ್ಪೇಡ್ ಆರ್ಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಗುದ್ದಲಿಯನ್ನು ತೊಗೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಗುಂಡಿಯನ್ನು ಅಗೆಯಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ದಟ್ಸ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ವೆರಿ ಹಾರ್ಡ್. And 8th question. So they given one problem, that is Razia conducted an experiment in the field related to the rate of percolation. She observed that it took 40 minutes for 200 ml of water. It took 40 minutes for 200 ml of water to percolate. ಅಂದರೆ 40 ನಿಮಿಷ ತಗೊಳುತ್ತೆ 200 ml ಅಂದರೆ 200 ಮಿಲಿಲೀಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟರು ಅದನ್ನು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ, ಅಂದರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ through the soil sample. Calculate the rate of percolation. So I already told in the previous class, also in the Google Meet class, we should calculate the rate of percolation. That is formula is amount of water by percolation time. So they given 200 ml of water that will be percolated in 40 minutes. That means this 0 get cancelled, 4 ones are 4 5s are totally 5 ml of water will be percolate per minute. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷಕ್ಕೆ 5 ml of water ಮಾತ್ರ ಪರ್ಕೊಲೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Next, explain how soil pollution and soil erosion could be prevented. ಅಂದರೆ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್, ಮಣ್ಣಿನ ಸವಕಳಿ ಮತ್ತು ಮಣ್ಣಿನ ಮಾಲಿನ್ಯವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ತಡಿಬಹುದು. Prevention of soil pollution. Prevention of soil pollution. So this use manures instead of chemical fertilizers. Prevention of soil pollution, that how to prevent means use manure instead of chemical fertilizers, because chemical fertilizers contain nitrogen, phosphate, phosphorus. Those are all harmful to the soil because that directly generate the new nutrients or minerals that require plants. But manure, that is a natural things that will be provides nutrients step by step, and also that manure contains more amount of humus. And industrial waste should be treated before release. So before releasing the industrial waste to the land, so we should treat it once again, treated that one, and then we should release that one. Avoid use of polythene and plastic, or they should not get mixed in soil. So we should avoid polythene and plastics, because that polythene and plastics does not allow water that retain into the ground level. So that doesn't allow any air enter into the soil. So we should avoid these polythene and plastics for the prevention of soil. We should prevent these three things to prevent the soil pollution. So next one is soil erosion. Soil erosion means ಮಣ್ಣಿನ ಸವಕಳಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಫಾರೆಸ್ಟೇಷನ್, ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಮರಗಳನ್ನು ಕಡಿತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪ್ರದೇಶವನ್ನು ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಮರಗಳನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ವೆನ್ ದ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಗ್ರೋ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದೋಸ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ holds the soil, upper soil. So if that holds the upper soil means that doesn't allows that soil to easily flow with water. Then soil erosion will be prevented. Avoiding over grazing of grasslands. So that's very is generally point. And also use of step farming in hill region. So hill region ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೊಲವನ್ನು ಉಳುಮೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇಫ್ ಯು farming in downwards, the water will be flow directly, and that flow and that take those upper layer of the soil along with that water. So that's why we should use of step farming in hill region. And next one is last question. So this is an puzzle, crossword puzzle. Solve the crossing word puzzle with the clues given. So across, here this is the across and this is the downwards. So across they given plantation prevents it. So plantation ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಗಿಡಗಳನ್ನು ಬೆಳೀತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. In that time so there will be an prevention of soil erosion. ಮಣ್ಣಿನ ಸವಕಳಿಯನ್ನು ನಾನೇನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ತಡೆಗಟ್ಬೋದು. erosion, EROSION, erosion. And next we should move on to the first one. In desert, soil erosion occurs through, in the desert there is no rain will occurs, alva, rain will not be fall in the desert region. So automatically soil erosion will be takes place through the action of wind. Desert ಅಲ್ಲಿ large amount of wind will be, enormous amount of wind will becomes that takes soil from one place to the another place. That's why in desert soil erosion occurs through wind. In the second one, plantation prevents it, erosion ಮಣ್ಣಿನ ಸವಕಳಿಯನ್ನು ತಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. And third one, clay and loam soil are suitable for cereals like. So ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ, in the previous one we already studied, they give an example, that is here. So here not will be there, I think in the next one will be there. So here will be there. See here, sandy soil or loamy soil is suitable for the vegetables, cottons cultivation, but clay soil is suitable for wheat and gram. So we should write. So 5 words, 5 letter means wheat, WHEAT, wheat. So next fourth one, this type of soil can hold very little water and automatically, that is sandy soil, maralu mannu, SKNDY, sandy soil. This is the fourth question answer. And next fifth one, collective name for layers of soil is soil profile ಅಥವಾ profile ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. That is called as profile. So here fifth one will be for across. Use should be banned to avoid soil pollution. We should avoid polythene bags, POLYTHENE, polythene bag. And next one, sixth one, type of soil used for making pottery. ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಪಾಟ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಎಂಥ ಮಣ್ಣನ್ನು ಬಳಸ್ತೀವಿ? We should use clay soil because that holds the water some amount of time easily. So last one, living organism in the soil. ಅಂದರೆ ಮಣ್ಣಿನಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ living organism, an example is rhizobium will be there, so many bacteria will be there, but we should write 5 letter, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 letter, that is earthworm. How can we miss? Here profile means E is already ended. From the E we should start only earthworm because rhizobium start the letter from R. So this is earthworm. So dear students, these are the question and answer which are comes in this lesson. So you should copy these questions and answers of the soil chapter and write neatly without making any spelling mistakes. Okay, thank you students.